2/3 of people with Alzheimer's are women, and we don't fully know why. But we do know this. One specific health marker impacts dementia risk in women far more than it does in men. And it's not your cholesterol, it's not your blood sugar, it's your blood pressure. The number that gets far less attention than it should. But the good news is what you do about it now in your 30s and in your 40s, even in your 50s and 60s. This matters way more than anything you can do when you're 70 or 80. But you do kind of need to start now. So let's get straight into it. And if we haven't met before, I'm Maria and I'm a registered dietitian whose nutrition advice has been featured in leading media outlets around the world. So you are getting high quality nutrition expert advice here. Now, most people, they think of blood pressure as a heart thing. Heart attacks, strokes, that is the conversation that we have all heard. But over the last few years, the research has made something else really clear. High blood pressure is one of the leading causes of dementia, particularly in women. I want you to imagine that your blood vessels are like garden hoses. When everything is working, they're soft and flexible, and the water flows through them at a nice pressure. When your blood pressure is too high, year after year, those hoses start to stiffen. They get much less bendy, and then tiny cracks start to form. And the hoses that feed your heart are the ones doctors usually worry about. But the hoses that feed your brain, same biology, same damage, same blood vessels, just running through a different organ. And when the hoses that are feeding your brain start stiffening and cracking, the parts of your brain that they're supposed to be feeding, they don't get enough blood or oxygen. And those parts of the brain start dying slowly and quietly for years before you start noticing anything at all. And by the time someone is starting to get forgetful, the damage has already been going on for a decade or two. And this is why the new American guidelines finally took the blood pressure and dementia link very seriously. Because protecting your blood pressure is not just about your heart anymore. It's about your mind. And if you're wondering why this disproportionately seems to affect women, well, we don't honestly fully understand that yet. It might be hormones, it might be that women's blood vessels respond differently to pressure, and it might be how menopause changes things. The why is still being worked out, but the what is crystal clear. Women's brains seem to be more sensitive to blood pressure damage than men's. So here are 5 things that I want you to start doing right now to help protect your brain in order of importance. And this is actually part 3 of a blood pressure video series, so I'd recommend watching video 1 and 2 as well to get even more tips. But the first thing that I want you to do is buy a home blood pressure cuff. They're not expensive. And this is really important because many of us, the blood pressure reading that we get when we go visit our doctor's office is wrong. And many of us think our blood pressure isn't a problem when maybe it is. Myself included. Because there's this thing called white coat syndrome. And you know, a lot of people have heard of this. This is when you go to the doctor's office, you get your blood pressure done, and your blood pressure is high because it's kind of like this formal environment. You're with the doctor, you could be in the hospital, and you're getting a bit nervous and your blood pressure goes up. But this isn't what I'm worried about. There is actually the opposite problem to this, which many people don't know. It's often called masked hypertension. Some people can go to the doctor's office and have totally normal blood pressure. But the moment they go back to real life, lack of sleep, stress, busy life and family schedules, their blood pressure shoots back up and stays up. The doctor sees the calm number, but the damage is being done on the other days. So that single reading at your last appointment might be the complete wrong number. The fix is getting a validated upper cuff blood pressure monitor, not a wrist one. They're around $30 to $50 on Amazon and they last for years. I'll leave a link to some of my preferred options down below. I have one. My husband, well, he uses my one. My parents have one now. Honestly, it's such an important and simple thing you can do for your health. But to use it and to measure properly, you want to do so in the morning before you have any coffee, before you do any exercise. You want to sit upright, feet flat, back supported, and an arm on a table. Get someone to help you if you can. You want to take 3 readings, not just one, and they should be 1 minute apart. I want you to discard the first reading and take an average of reading 2 and 3. And I want you to do this every morning for a week. Then take an average and then you will get a number that actually means something. And do this every few months. Keep on top of it. But if your average is consistently over 130 and 80, that is something to act on. If it's over 140 and 90, please make a doctor's appointment. And the next thing we want to focus on is eating more of what your brain actually needs. And there are 3 eating patterns in particular that are very good for blood pressure management. We have the DASH diet, the Mediterranean diet, and now there's this other one that's kind of like if the DASH and the Mediterranean had a baby. But really, to keep it simple, they all follow very similar principles. What you need to do is eat more vegetables. I tell everybody that there should be vegetables at every single meal, ideally 2 to 3. Eat more berries, blackberries, blueberries, raspberries. Eat more foods that are high in potassium. Potassium is great to counterbalance the sodium. Things like potatoes and bananas are good ones here. Then of course the obvious healthy things like more olive oil, more oily fish, less ultra processed foods. But your brain will respond to how you eat, and this is so important. Many women spend way too many years focusing on diet for their physical appearance, and like really what's important is so much more meaningful than that. Looking after your brain. You of course also want to eat less salt. This is very important for blood pressure. But this will happen naturally when you do start cutting out the ultra processed foods and you start adding in more fruits and vegetables. Now the next thing that I want you to do is one of the most underrated things for blood pressure. And it's the most simple form of exercise out there, and that is walking. I use my walking pad like every single day because I just think it's such an important habit. Ideally, you're getting outside and you're going for walks, but if that's hard, getting little ways to get more steps in is so important. So trying to walk for 30 minutes a day, and then after that, try to build in some resistance training even twice a week. This is really good for your muscles and for your vascular health, those blood vessels that go to your brain. Now next, once you have the diet checked and you have the exercise checked, if your blood pressure number is not moving, it's probably one of these. You might have undiagnosed sleep apnea, undiagnosed insulin resistance, and you need to take this to your doctor to have that conversation to test you. Because in women particularly, the symptoms of things like sleep apnea, they can be misdiagnosed as symptoms of menopause, but it could be something else going on entirely. And if you're not sleeping, it really pushes up your blood pressure. So if you have a lot of migraines or fatigue or anything like that, it is really worth like checking all of these things, checking that they're not the culprits. Other ones are caffeine. If you have high blood pressure, we want to limit that to under 300 milligrams a day. And I also want you to check any supplements that you're taking, like fat burners or pre-workouts, for this list of ingredients, because these can also push up blood pressure. And if you are going through menopause, even if you're in your 40s and it's 10 years before menopause, hormonal changes here can actually push up your blood pressure too. So it's something that women really have to consider when they're coming into these perimenopausal years. And lastly, what I really want to emphasize is that you need to start now, not later. Even for me, I'm relatively young, I'm relatively healthy. It's easy for me to ignore something like blood pressure because I don't really think it's an issue. But, and I'm not trying to be dramatic, the research is really clear. Protecting your risk in later life of dementia comes from what you do in your 30s, 40s, 50s, starting now. So pick one of these things from today's video. Buy yourself a blood pressure cuff. Go outside for a walk. But start making simple changes to your lifestyle to protect future you. Because the number one modifiable risk factor for women really is your blood pressure. Now, if this video was helpful, please give it a like. It really helps support my channel. There's also this new YouTube hype button. If you would like to hype me, that is really great. It helps my videos get out to more people. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below, and make sure to watch video 1 and 2 from this blood pressure series as well. Let's all start to take our health a little bit more seriously. It's not about eating well just for what we look like. It's about our health from the inside out. As always, thank you very much for watching. Stay happy and stay healthy, and I'll see you again next week. Thanks for watching.